Newcastle Fans TV.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Is Ari? So you can tell by the frustration in my voice, I'm still a bit knocked off from the other night. Going out on penalties against Burnley, and of course this weekend on Saturday, the big one, Southampton. I think it's crucial. A couple of the lads have already said it, Johnny and Sam, because we're going doing a defeat against, you would probably say, Southampton or a relegation rival. Lost Danny Ings, who we already know has scored past us for Villa this season, and now they've got Adam Armstrong, who will probably come in and possibly haunt us. But I don't think Adam Armstrong is going to have a season quite like Danny Ings. They are going to be down there with us, but I'm still knocked off about midweek. Me and Johnny were there, and we should have went through. And you know, it's frustrating because we've lost 2 games. We're out of a cup competition already, and if we get beat against Southampton, now credit, obviously we do have a good record at home against Southampton, so hopefully that comes into a factor. It's a long way to travel, but I'm a negative. I'm not gonna lie, I'm negative already, and I think a win will just lift it. I think I was saying in the preview for the Burnley game, I said if we're winning midweek, and no matter how we win, whether it was on penalties, forget about the performance, just win, just to lift the morale a little bit. And we've only seen one player come in, through Joe Willock. We've seen a lot of players rotated because everybody was on the bench in midweek, except for Matty Longstaff, has got a good shout and starting against Southampton. So you will see the big boys, ASM, you will see Joe Willock, Jacob Murphy. Isaac Hayden was at the ground, I seen him in his car. Matt Ritchie was also, I seen him behind him. Dan Langley was behind him, but those two, the previous 2 I mentioned there, probably get a game, likely Ritchie. I don't know what Hayden's injury is at the moment, but we know Shelby's out. Matty's probably going to go out the door. Bruce has already hinted on about that, so that's probably going to happen before the deadline closes. He doesn't need to be registered, so it still gives Bruce a problem because he needs a space free to bring somebody in. I thought actually Manquillo was fantastic midweek, so he's put his name in the reckoning because he's been out the colds ever since Jacob Murphy's form. So I don't think Manquillo will keep his place. I will be quite surprised, I'm not going to lie to you, but we'll see. I'm just so negative. And Callum Wilson wasn't even on the bench, and Johnny was getting on about that in midweek. He wasn't on the bench. You know, you could bring him off the bench and maybe he's a penalty taker. It's a lottery. We should have went through, without no shadow of a doubt. We should have gone through. We were the better side. Burnley didn't even test Freddie Woodman and they still go through. That goes to show you. So look, I think Hasenhüttl, if you offered him a point right now away from home, coming all the way up north, I think he would take it. But I think the pressure's on Steve Bruce, because if we didn't get a result against Southampton, we've then got Man United at Old Trafford, and we're not getting out there. And then you're going to be playing against Bielsa, and you see what his side did, well, especially away from home last season. So I'm just deflated and negative. It's probably because I'm still pissed off about Wednesday's game. I think it's an opportunity just thrown away. And if Newcastle get beat on the weekend, and for once actually agree with Simon Jordan. Simon Jordan's actually said on TalkSport that if Newcastle get beat, rotating the side in midweek was pointless. And I understand what Steve Bruce has said. I understand that he says you need to give players some game time because they need minutes in the belt to keep the squad happy. But for me, you've got to keep the fans happy more than what the squad is. Fans are more important than players, I feel, because if you win on Wednesday night, no matter how it is, you play your better sides, because there's only 2 games into the season in the league and you're already rotating. For me, there's no need for that. Injuries will come later on in the season when the clock's going back in October, the colder months start coming. That's when we get injuries, and that's when you bring in the likes of Manquillo to step in for Murphy. Sean Longstaff will play more often, and Wilson might go down with an injury, so Gale will come in, and vice versa, and etc. etc. That's what that's for. You use your squad. But I'm still pissed off about it. And going into Southampton, I think we've got to win. And I kind of think, does the performance matter? Not at the minute. I think we've just try and get that monkey off our back and get a win, just to lift the morale, because I kind of see we're getting out against Man United. I think you've got to get Wilson more service, ASM doing the bits. For me, said this to me, Miggy can get lost. This final end product is shit. It's fucking crap. And that's really the first time I've kind of turned on Miggy of late. And that's early in the season, but Fraser offers so much more for the team going forward. Miggy does defensively, Don't get me wrong. But in that number 8, because Fraser's out of position, Miggy will be playing out of position. For me, Fraser is the better of the two in the number 8. Now, you can have the whole debate, who's better out wide on the left, who's better out in the 10, who's better out wide on the right. But in that number 8, the most advanced centre midfielder, it's Fraser all day long. He offers a lot more going forward. What I like about him is that when he gets pushed out the left, when he's running with a ball, his first objective is thinking, right, I'm going to cut back and whip this in. I'm going to do that. Wilson loves that. Whereas Almiron fucks about in that position and then he doesn't even cross it. He pulls the ball back towards the edge of the box constantly all the time. So for me, Ryan Fraser comes in for me because I'm pissed off of Miggy. I'm sick of seeing it in this number 8. And that's not really his fault. That's down to Bruce as well. Because let's face it, Miggy's not a number 8. He's not a centre midfielder. So he's getting wasted. And we talked about that last season. But Fraser for me. Sean Longstaff, nah, not for me. Not for me. I don't think he's offering now at the club at the minute. I didn't not necessarily want to get rid of him. I just feel that, where do you find his best position? Because we're not going to play number 10. And he's ideally, for me, probably a number 10. But there's a few problems in there. Just win. Just win for the sake of all of us lot, man. Just please, don't care if it's a backside own goal, last minute winner. I couldn't give a shit. You've just got to get 3 points on the board. Give that little bit of morale, a bit of a boost. And Man United, you could probably hope and wish that you get a draw, which I'll be at. Seeing we're getting fucking thumped 3-4-0. But hey-ho, score predictions. Go on then, be brave. Let us know what you think, what's going to happen on the weekend. Ta-ra everyone, bye-bye.